I had like one day off this week and I used it to make like 4 videos. Support the Patreon. Maybe I can do this a little more often without having to cram everything into a single day.
Hey out there. Yeah, I hope that my joke with the falling backdrop worked in the last video, cuz I put some thought into that joke. Anyway, yeah, there was a Shadow Link release in this wave of World of Nintendo, but it was a Spencer's exclusive. That's right, you can only get it at Spencer's, that gag gift shop. And fortunately, one opened near my neighborhood just last year. So, yeah, this is the Shadow Link packaging. They included this really nice black and white picture of Link. I really like that. They made their own unique card art for this, because that really sells the exclusiveness of it. Problem is that, well, all 3 of the packages in my local Spencer's were kind of beat up. I think it might be because their shipment was banged around a lot, because all of them were really messed up, and the one that was in the best shape was this. And it has like a little tear here, and like for an exclusive, I was hoping to get a better package. Anyway, if you turn it around, the back of the package just features a picture of the figure and the rest of the figures in the wave. As you can see, the wave is the same thing. You have from White Tanuki Mario on the left to Toon Link on the right, with everything in between. So this actually does count as a figure in this particular wave, but he's not pictured down there because he's the secret exclusive. Alright, so now that we've taken a look at the packaging, let's take a look at the Shadow Man himself. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, Shadow Link, premiering in Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link. Probably most famous for his appearance as a boss in the Water Temple of Ocarina of Time, which is what this particular version is based off of, and making many cameos or even important appearances in other games since, whether it's like a very brief cameo in a game like Twilight Princess, or if he's basically the main villain again, like he was in, Four Sword. That is until Vaxi was revealed at the very end. Anyway, if you have the Ocarina of Time Link, you already have this mold. He has that weird thing going on with his right arm where the sleeve sculpt does not let it go down any farther than that. And he has all the same articulation. For a quick comparison, let us bring in proper Ocarina of Time Link. Now, as you can see with my Ocarina of Time Link, I did do a little bit of modding. Let's zoom in so you can appreciate the mod. Okay, look very closely at that left arm. You see it? You see, I cut away... Let's stop playing around. I cut away material from the Focus. Hey, camera. Focus. Focus, camera. There you go. I cut into the fabric of the sleeve to free up the ball in there as much as possible and allow his arm to go farther down along his side to match his left arm. And it allows him to have a much more natural, my arms are at my side stance. I do not know if I would do this same mod to the Shadow Link figure because I don't know what color the plastic is cast in. I don't know if cutting into the sleeve will reveal lighter colored plastic underneath, and then I would try to paint over it, and since it's a moving part, the paint would be forever getting scraped off, and I don't want to have to worry about that. So, weirdly pointing out armor or no, I think I'm going to leave this Shadow Link figure unmolested. Alright, so let's get proper Link out of the way and focus on this, on the thing that makes Shadow Link special, his new deco. Because this is pretty much a complete repaint. I think they even cast it in a different color plastic. So let's start with his face. He is all black, like a living shadow. It's sort of a matte black. it's a little bit glossy, but not as glossy as you would think that it would be. So it has a little bit of shine, but it also just eats up the light that hits it. It causes his red painted eyes to really stand out. From a distance, it looks a little bit weird because of the shape of his head, but up close, they pierce into your very soul. All the sculpting is still the same all around. He even still has his little earrings, if you can see them. And like I said, this matte blackness really captures the shadowy effect of the character, but it also kind of makes it hard to see details unless he's directly under a light. Going down, we can see that they did not just make everything straight up black on this guy. They varied up his color scheme by adding in a few shades of gray. As you can see, his sheath has a light gray and a dark gray instead of the yellow on blue look that the original Ocarina of Time Link had. And the white parts of his costume are also done in a lighter gray. However, everything else is that delicious, slightly glossy, but mostly matte black. His sword is the one spot where, is one of the few spots that is not some shade of black or gray. It is, in fact, a very well glossy, pearlescent metallic silver that they used on that sword. It's actually shinier as a sword than the proper Link figures. See, where Link's original sword was just kind of cast in this light gray plastic, that real silver paint really just kind of sells in its shininess. It looks like it's metal. The same effect was used on the shield. It's a perfectly captured Hylian shield, but done in that very nice pearlescent silver paint and black. Again, it's the exact same mold as the proper shield, but you know, like this black and white scheme just looks really, really good. I love the Shadow Link look. They could just as easily have just cast the entire figure in black plastic and released it as that and done it nice and cheap. But then again, this is Spencer's. They charged $20 for this figure, whereas the original one retailed for only $12 at Toys R Us. So they had better put a little bit of extra effort into that paint job if they're going to make it worth something. And I'm actually very glad that they did. So that they actually went to the effort to vary up his color scheme is a huge bonus. And it shows that actual care and thought went into making this character, as opposed to just quickly trying to cash in on some nostalgia and completionists like myself. So yeah, like I said, the articulation's all the same as you may remember. You have the ball jointed shoulders. That right arm has that weird thing where it doesn't want to go down all the way. The accessories are difficult. It's difficult to put the shield on because you got to get his hand to hold it and then clip it onto his wrist, but it's doable. He has a bicep swivel and a 90-degree elbow. He has a pin disc wrist that can go inwards, outwards, and rotate around. He has a waist joint. He has universal jointed hips under the skirt. There's a cut in the skirt in the side so that right leg is not impeded by it, but the left leg does not benefit from the cut, although the skirt's softness does allow his legs to still move quite a bit. He has a knee, almost gets 90, a boot cut swivel, and then a universal joint on the ankle. It can go forward and backwards and rotate around. Although, yeah, I guess I can help with wide leg stance, I guess. So yeah, it's this was a very nice, solid figure the first time it came out, and they really just released that solid figure again with a new color scheme, and it still looks pretty darn great. So this would be a great companion piece to your Ocarina of Time Link, and I would recommend it to collectors. It is a little more expensive than the proper Ocarina of Time Link was at the time of his release, and it is a very simple deco when you get down to it, but the the new paint apps are very cleanly applied, and actual care went into making this thing. It's definitely worth it if you're a fan of the Legend of Zelda series and Ocarina of Time in particular. So this has been Wakeangel2K1 reviewing Shadow Link, and I hope to catch you very soon with my next custom video. See you later.